Hey guys, so this week I wanted to go through your notes with you. I hate that I've not been in class to be with you. I have been sick, so I've been kind of struggling through that, but hopefully I'll be back with you soon. But this set of notes is dealing with, it's looking at how to build that 4-year plan and some of the things that you're going to need to know in order to do that. So we're just going to kind of go through these notes together and talk about them as we go. The first thing you need to know is what is a career cluster. And you'll see in the descriptions that they give here, it's a group of jobs that's all related to one specific interest that you have. For example, you know, if I'm going to be a CEO of a company, then I have to know all these different levels of business. So I have to know how each department works. So there may be jobs that I've worked at in order to get to that end goal of being a CEO. So it can be anything it says from entry level to professional, but it's going to be a cluster of jobs that are all related to each other. There are 16 clusters in which all jobs in the U.S. can be grouped. So we're going to see what those clusters are. There's also pathways. Looking at the path that you're going to take for a career cluster. If you've ever looked at classes that you're taking, you build a pathway to be able to get to what you want at the end. So it says it's a subgroup of those career clusters. The knowledge and skill requirements are targeted toward that specific occupation that you're looking at, and it's all shared abilities or shared common aspects that you have. When you think about in school, and maybe you want to be a doctor, so you have a pathway of classes that you're going to take, and maybe even positions that you'll have to hold before you reach that final result, and that's what a pathway is. Why should you study clusters? Because they can help you explore and figure out what kind of jobs are in the area that you want to go into. So this is going to talk about some of those. The first one's agriculture and natural resources. You know, if you don't like being outdoors in the elements, then obviously you don't want to go into agriculture and natural resources. But they give you an example here. A forester is a job that's in this cluster, and it provides basic human needs. But you have to want to work outside to be able to get in this cluster and be successful. It says only 10% of the workers are involved in ranching and farming. And then it requires 2 to 4 years of college. The next one is architecture and construction. You have to have at least a bachelor's degree. You need to be good in math and science. And some people don't like it. Dryer. So if you don't like it, obviously, you know, you would not, if you're not good at math or science, you probably wouldn't want to go in this area. It does require you to have licensure before you can practice as an architecture. And here you see high school classes such as welding and drafting would be great. So this is where you start building that pathway. Then you've got arts, audio-visual, technology, and communication. Good interpersonal skills. If you are somebody who likes to do everything on your own and not with other people, you might not want to go this way. High school classes, art, yearbook, chemistry, math, and English will all be helpful. And there's no post-secondary school required, but it says it is suggested. And an example of this classification or this cluster would be a TV announcer. This is one I know pretty well because this is what I went into in school, business and administration. You need to be organized. You need to be good with numbers and also with system that you're using. High school business classes are really good for this, which you're kind of involved in one right now. Not necessarily career management because you can take that under other teachers. But since you're in a career management class with a business teacher, you're getting some of the business side of things as well. You need computer skills, common sense, decision-making skills, and problem-solving abilities. Education and training. So I took my business administration degree and then moved on to go into this one, education. You need at least a bachelor's degree in order to become a teacher. Now, most of your teachers, or a whole lot of your teachers, don't stop with what they have to have. So, they don't stop with just a bachelor's degree. Many teachers will move on from that and get degrees higher up from that. I have a master's degree in career and technical education. There's other teachers out there that have doctorate degrees that have gone that far with it. I have not moved up to that step, considered it, but sometimes you have to look at your income versus how much money you're going to spend on your education as well. And I just want to throw this in right here because it seems like a good place to put it. When you weigh how much you're going to spend to get your education versus how much money you're going to make in the position that you're in, sometimes I don't feel like it would be fruitful right now for me to obtain a doctorate's degree working as a high school teacher. If I wanted to move on and become a professor at a college, let's say I went to teach at Virginia Tech, then, that would be beneficial. I would be paid an amount of money that would kind of, substantiate spending that kind of money on an education. So I hope y'all kind of see what I'm talking about right there about balance. You should have great interpersonal skills and love to make an impact. And I think teachers definitely, if you're in the right profession, that's one of your pluses there. And don't make as much money as some other professions, but you do get great benefits from being involved in education. So finance and business technologies, of course, you need to be good with money. This is growing rapidly as far as international. Computers, auditors, and accountants are some of the examples in this field right here. And high school courses in math, finance, and business courses. And this is typically a bachelor's degree or advanced training that's required in this cluster. Government and public administration. Training on this job ranges from on-the-job training to advanced degrees, and it just depends. There's so much in government and public administration. It depends on which area you're going into. But people enter this field for a variety of reasons, and all high school classes can be helpful. Health science says you must be a helper type of person. Job outlook is good. It says as long as we have children and we continue to age, we need somebody to take care of us, and that's very true. There's certain professions, certain clusters that you can get into that there's always going to be a need for. And when you're talking about medical, that's one. When you're talking about any kind of profession in the, what am I trying to think of? Like funeral business, the funeral home, something like that. There's always going to be a need for those people, because as long as there's people on this earth, you're going to have people who are sick and you're going to have people that pass away. So sometimes you can look at the need out there of the people who are living and see that, it's going to be a profession that's going to keep on going. High school courses in health, biology, health occupations, and also psychology. And normally complete 7 to 10 years of post-secondary education. So that means you're going to have 7 to 10 years worth of college at least. And I can tell you sometimes it goes longer than that. Hospitality and tourism. We used to teach a tourism class at East Surrey, and I absolutely loved it. Unfortunately, don't have that one right now. Hasn't made in a while. But you need great interpersonal skills. Some jobs are seasonal, and sometimes they require working weekends, nights, and holidays. And many of the jobs require no specific education, but lots of on-the-job training. So I always thought it was cool, like the people who have the jobs that go around and do tours in Mount Airy with people and tell them about all the history in the town and things like that. That's, included in that hospitality and tourism job cluster. Human service or public service. Helping and protecting and nurturing other people. Most require you to be licensed, and you have to go through renewal of licensure many times. Many do not require a college degree, however, it does require specialized training, and this would include firefighters, daycare workers. But it would also include people who help with when you're looking at human service or public service, also when you're looking at people who are in child support or child protection agencies and things like that would be included in this one as well. Information technology, and it says it's the fastest growing field of all career clusters because we know how important technology is to everybody today, and I don't think it's going anywhere. Need at least an associate's degree and continuous updating of your skills, and that is constant because there's always something new coming out, so you have to be ready to keep learning. High school math, computer, science classes, all those are good for this cluster. Law and public safety, helping people stay safe through the legal system. And y'all, I know you know because you hear it on the news, but our law enforcement, there are good law enforcement people out there, and they are trying to help people stay safe while they put their lives on the line. So I hope you don't get into a mind thinking that, all law enforcement's bad. There's bad in every career that you can think of, and there's really good in every career that you can think of. So try to be open-minded about the people who are in different occupations. It requires many types of supervised field experiences. On-the-job training, associate's Bachelor of Science or Bachelor of Arts degree is common in this area. You must have good communication skills and also strong ethics. And there again, there's good and bad, but people need the strong ethical skills in order to be in a job like this and be able to resolve conflict. Manufacturing. Most people work indoors. A lot of times it's noisy. They call them white collar workers. They're normally salaried jobs. So that means that they don't make an amount of money per hour. They get a specific amount. Usually it's monthly. Could be every 2 weeks, but normally with salary it's a monthly thing. Blue collar are the ones that are out there, and when you're looking at white collar workers, you're mostly looking at your supervisors. Blue collar are the ones that they may be required to have special clothes to do their job. These are on-the-job training is where you get a whole lot of the skills that you need, but also with apprenticeships, and there may be some technical training involved as well. Strong in math and science, and being able to work well in a team and communication skills. Now, let me stop right here at this teamwork thing and talking about this specific career cluster. There's a class at East Surry that's available that people are not taking. So I'm going to put this plug in right here because this is where you get these good teamwork and communication skills. I trained to teach that class years ago, and the name of the class is Project Management. They're teaching it at the other high schools. I can tell you the teachers like teaching it, the students like taking it. The only reason it has not made at our school is because people didn't know about it. So in Project Management, you work with teams and you build these projects. And this is what you do. You get a specific salary or amount of money, not salary, but an amount of money to be able to use. Budget, and you have to figure out the best way to utilize your money. You have to figure out who on your team is doing which roles, and you do projects all the way through the class, and even your final grade is a project. Things from extreme makeovers to do a makeover for a bedroom and figuring out all the materials you need and furniture and just all that stuff. There's a project making a candy bar because they found that most teenagers do not buy Hershey chocolate. So coming up with a candy bar that would appeal to that teen target group. I'm telling y'all, if I could take this class, I would, because it would be really cool. It's project after project doing fun things like that. So keep that in mind. And classes like that is those are the classes that'll give you these skills that we're talking about right here. The good teamwork and the communication skills for these jobs that we're talking about. Retail, wholesale sales, and service, hard jobs to be in. Enterprising skills, it's very interpersonal, so you have to be able to work well with people. It's a greater than average job growth, requires no prior experience when you go in entry level. Women make up half of the workforce in retail sales. Probably no surprise there. But keep in mind when you're talking about those, let me go back a minute, retail jobs, that, a lot of times they have to work holidays, they have to work nights, weekends. They sometimes do not get a whole lot of voice in being able to have particular days off. So that's what makes that one a little bit harder, I think. Scientific research and engineering. The jobs require one to come up with new methods in order to solve problems. It is highly technical, and there again, you need the math and science. Lots of physical and social science along with engineering, and in most cases, a whole lot of schooling. You got transportation, distribution, and logistics. Anything from being a bus driver to flying an airplane. You have to have licensure in the profession. Does not require college, however, it is suggested. Alright, so this gives you all those different clusters that we're talking about, or different pathways, and a little bit about each one as far as what you need to have in those specific areas to be successful in it. You're going to work this week on a 4-year plan. You've only got 2 days, and then you'll be out for Thanksgiving. So if you have questions as you're going through looking at your 4-year plan, be sure and send me a message and let me know so I can help you. Hope y'all have a good week, and I hope you have a very happy Thanksgiving.